Hey, how you guys doing? What's up? So I was thinking today about how nowadays people don't treat people like human beings, right? And they only see people as opportunities, right? And for a second I thought of that as negative, but then I thought to myself, I'm like, that's what I'm doing, but in a positive way. Does that make sense? Because I want to help people on YouTube instead of working a 9 to 5. I don't like to work a 9 to 5. I feel miserable a lot of the time when I work a 9 to 5. I get tired of being manipulated and disrespected when I work a 9 to 5. And I get tired of that feeling of nobody really caring about me and realizing that I'm trying to add value to, the companies that I work for. The last company that I worked for, I worked super duper hard all the time and I got fired. So I don't really want to do that no more. So my whole thing is, I was like, YouTube is the perfect place because it's an opportunity thing, like I just said earlier, but at the same time, it's a good opportunity because I want to have the opportunity to be able to help people and have them feel good about themselves and, give them a place where they can talk and where we can, converse and we can have a deep bond and we can share experiences with one another. And that's why I feel like this YouTube thing is like perfect for me, and perfect for others. But I do want to make a living on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make a living helping people. That's what I want to do. And by me doing that, by me trying to help people, they're helping me as well. Does that make sense? Like it's an exchange, but it's not like there's no malicious intent behind what I'm doing. Does that make sense? So it's like I'm trying to help people because I do want to help people, but I do need to make a living, But I also wanted to kind of tell you guys this because if I'm going to be doing YouTube full time, I want you guys to know what I'm doing and know that it's not like, I do write scripts. I want to be 100% honest with that. I do write scripts for like my more detailed videos, mostly because I've realized that just going off the top of your head sometimes can be stupid. Mostly because why would you not, like logically, why would you not want a script, on your computer or your desktop and then have notes in the corner and then have notes on your phone? Like, why would you not do that? It would just be stupid to have all the tools to help you, improve or sound more intelligent and help you decipher your words better. Why would you not have those tools, versus trying to just go off the top and just talk? You know what I'm saying? It's just smarter to have the tools. And that actually brings me to another thing, because a lot of the time we will have the tools, but like we won't use them. And I used to kind of do that a little bit, where it was kind of like I would just kind of just do shit, which can be a good thing because sometimes you gotta just do it, like versus sitting there always constantly taking notes and shit like that. Like I've been on both sides of that. There were times where it's like I'm sitting here taking all these notes, but I'm not like putting in the action. You get what I'm saying? I remember when I was in high school, I was a junior, and I remember I was in this band class, and I remember I never really played my instrument. Instead, I would just keep writing down all the notes, but I never actually played it. That was one issue I had back in the day. I did that, and basically it just made me look kind of retarded. I ain't gonna lie to you. I accept the embarrassment and I accept the insecurities that I had about playing. It was like I was stuck because I was really insecure about sounding stupid, but by feeling insecure and staying in a uncomfortable, comfortable position, it made me look even dumber. Because sometimes we're comfortable with feeling uncomfortable in a certain area. Does that make sense? Meaning like you can feel comfortable in your room, like sitting on your bed, like physically, but emotionally you feel uncomfortable, and mentally you can see, that you're wasting your time, if that makes sense. So that was basically the same thing that I was going through with the instrument thing. It was like I'm sitting here like, well, I'm doing something. Like your mind is like, well, I'm taking notes, But I'm also being stupid because I'm not really playing, you know. I ended up passing the class with like a C. The teacher just liked my personality because I would go and talk to him and stuff like that. Teachers usually will give you a little bit of leeway room if you seem like a good person, but they can see that you're kind of insecure about some shit. But lately, I've been doing that shit a lot more, being way more honest with myself as a human being, and just admitting that I have like faults and insecurities, and sometimes I have things that are wrong with me mentally and emotionally and shit like that, and that's perfectly fine because that's what it's like to be a human being. As a human being, you're gonna have insecurities. I was telling my mom, I'm like, sometimes I feel extremely confused about life. I'm in my mid-20s. I don't really know where I'm gonna go in life a lot of the time. You know, I feel insecure, sometimes when I'm talking about things because I feel like I'm limited with my intelligence, just stuff like that. But at the same time, I am the type of dude who will sit there and constantly study to improve. And I just wanted you guys to know, some stuff about me, insecurities and stresses and things I go through. Which is funny because I'm also like an extremely confident dude at the same time. Which is why I always say, as humans, we're like walking contradictions. Like, like we super confident, but then we can also still have hella insecurities. It's kind of funny. Well, not necessarily funny, but real. It's real. But it's interesting though because a lot of the time we aren't treated as human beings. And I feel like as human beings, we should be treated as human beings and create good opportunities. Does that make sense? Like it's different when you see a person, right? And you're like, this is opportunity. I'm about to just do this and just use this person. Versus you're creating a good opportunity and you're allowing the person to use you and you're using them and it's in a good positive way. Because I don't like people who are dishonest, who lie, who ain't truthful, and who just do things for their own gain and they don't give the other person or the other individuals, the other people, something in return. And I feel like, I could help you guys and you guys most definitely can help me too because, just like everybody else, I be wanting friends. I want a friend. I mean, it is what it is. And in this social media age, it's very hard to find true, genuine friends. For the people who watch, anime, I kind of want me a group of friends that's kind of like, the Straw Hats from One Piece. That would be really cool. Or even the Phantom Troop, because even though the Phantom Troop and Hunter x Hunter are like evil, it's like they're still like brothers and sisters, like they're really cool or whatever. I guess they're more like characters. What the hell was I talking about? Gray characters than villains. Well, nah, they straight up villains because they be killing people and stuff. They villains, but they're emotionally gray. Like you can see that sometimes they act like they're like a family, and sometimes they're just evil. They're human beings. But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that. I feel like as human beings, we have to treat each other like human beings, but also, try to create good opportunities for one another and help each other grow instead of trying to pull each other down. Because nowadays, people just try to pull each other down. They try to bully each other, treat each other horribly, treat each other like they ain't even human, treat each other like they're the worst type of scum. And they treat, each other like they don't have feelings, like they don't have emotions, And I think that's not cool. I think as people, we need to try to help people and uplift people. Which is also why, I'm being really honest with you guys. I'm letting you guys see my mistakes. You see, sometimes I mess up with my words and stuff like that. And that's okay. And that's okay for you to do that. And it's okay to be different, But I just want you guys, to understand, though, that we have to start treating each other a little bit better, versus treating each other like we just ain't shit. Because it's like, why do that instead of creating like long-lasting good bonds? That's why the novel I'm writing, my fantasy novel, my black fantasy novel, it's about bonds. And it has white people in it too. I mean, it has a lot of different races in it. Mostly alien races, but it does have like races that you could consider white. and it has black races that you can consider black. I have to go back and rewrite a lot of stuff because I put African American in there and I put descendant of white people and stuff like that in there, and I'm like, that's not good wording. But I do have to go back and kind of fix that, kind of clean that up. Go ahead and clean that up, like like a bridge from Mr. Popo. But yeah, I do need to go and clean that stuff up. But that's just me, man. Like I be trying to spread love, and I be wanting people to feel good about themselves, bro, and not feel like trash. And in return, I just ask for respect back. It's really that simple. And I realize this too. Don't get me wrong. I've been on both sides of this as well. There have been times where I only cared mostly about myself and kind of tuned people out because people were negative and would get on my nerves. And people were like, they would like bring their insecurities to me even though I wasn't doing anything to them. Like when I was in college, I was about to say high school. When I was in college, it happened in high school too though. But when I was in college, for example, I was very quiet. Not necessarily shy. Like people thought I was shy because I was quiet. I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm just quiet. And I was quiet because I wanted to stay out of drama. I didn't want nonsense following me, but it was funny because nonsense was all around me, and it was always all around me still. Even though I was quiet and didn't start nothing, stayed to myself, there was still drama. There was people who still had bad perceptions of me. And I don't try to control how people view me. Like I act certain ways, but it's never to try to get you to like me in a certain way because I know that there's going to be people that are going to hate me regardless. Like you could be the kindest, greatest person. You could be a saint. You could be freaking the greatest person of all time, and you still going to have some person that's going to be jealous of you or just hate you just because you're you. That's it. It's like this man exists. I mean, I'm an Aquarius, right? That's my zodiac sign. There are people who straight up just hate me because I'm an Aquarius. Like really? That's the reason why you hate me? Seriously? Because my zodiac sign? My nigga. It's just like, which I ain't gonna lie, I be in the zodiac signs. I'm a spiritual dude. I do be like, man, hey, Aquarius do be getting on my nerves. I'm an Aquarius and Aquarius get on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie, but I never hate them because of that though. Like I still give people the benefit of the doubt and try to learn about them and see who they are and how they are and the way that they are when they walk this earth. And I try to see what path they're taking in life. But that's also what my novel's about. It's about friendship and bonding. And it's like a personal diary. Like the other day, I realized that I wanted my novel to be like a diary for the characters. I wanted each character to have their own perspective of life. And they basically just tell their own perspective of life. And people might hate that way of writing. They might be annoyed by that. Like, why are you explaining everything? But I kind of like doing that. It's something that brings me joy when I explain it the way I want to. Even though there's like a whole bunch of different like YouTube pages, Facebook pages that tell you how to write. I want to write my own way. It's kind of how, you look at very famous writers like Robert Jordan, for example. He wrote how he wanted to write. I've heard people say he is the greatest fantasy novel writer of all time. And then I've heard people say he is horrible and he repeats the same stuff over and over again. But the one thing we know about Robert Jordan is he wrote what he wanted to write. He wrote it how he wanted to. Terry Pratchett, who wrote Discworld, he wrote it how he wanted to. He made the jokes he wanted to. And when you write your stuff how you want to, you're going to have people who like it because they get to see your inner thoughts and see how you view the world through your characters. And then there's some people who are just going to hate it a lot of the time because of the technical side. A lot of people get stuck on the technical side of writing and stuff instead of just reading the words. They're like, oh, I can't stand this. This sounds like a bunch of gibberish. I'm like, did the old people, like back in the day, like 200-300 years ago, the people who used to write, you guys would say that they're the greatest philosophers ever, right? Did they have to use punctuation and stuff? I don't think, was there punctuation back then? I need to look that up to see. Because I'm pretty sure they just wrote and people think it's beautiful. But now people are so analytical. It's like every time you write something, you wrote that the wrong way. Oh, that don't sound smooth enough. Oh, well, you didn't put the period there. You didn't put the comma there. You didn't put the apostrophe there. It's just like, damn, like, just read it. You might feel some good emotions when you just read the shit. Stop worrying about all that. You know what I'm saying? Which is right, and I'm like that because I don't like to put myself in a box. I like to just write how I want. I like to have that freedom. That's just like Pennington Ward, who made Adventure Time, or the creator of One Piece, Oda, or the Archie Sonic comics. Like, I just love how they just kind of all over the place, just be doing a bunch of random stuff. Video's about to end. Well, love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace, love, and blessings.